Hi again, friends! I'm back for a WIP Parade today. I'm Leah Noel, Aviatrix Stitcher. First of all, thank you so much for the warm welcome back to making these videos and Instagram. I'm so happy to be connected again. It's that was really difficult for me. It was the right decision to kind of step back during the academic year, but I really missed everybody. So thanks for all your comments on the last video and for reaching out to me on Instagram. I have my account, my Aviatrix Stitcher handle listed below if you want to find me there on Instagram. But anyways, even though I wasn't making videos or on Instagram, I was still stitching. Not a lot, not as much as I would have liked to stitch, but I was still stitching kind of a lot. And sorry if you can hear my dishwasher beep in the background. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of put together a WIP parade because it's been so long, and I'm just going to be honest, this is really difficult to figure out how to get back into posting updates. Just where to start, what to include, do I have to include everything, should I include everything, that kind of thing. Ultimately, I decided that I might as well just do a WIP parade of everything that I've touched. So I hesitate to say these are active WIPs because although I love them and I do consider them to be active WIPs, I also don't have time to work on them regularly, and I know they won't be finished this year. Most of these. I will point out the ones that are my priorities. So my plan for today is to show you the WIPs that you have seen before. I did bring out all of them, even if I've only stitched on them for like 2 or 3 days since I saw you last. There might not be a lot of progress, but these are still projects that represent me and my style, and I know that there's a lot of new Flosstube viewers in the last year, so I thought a WIP parade might be a good place to just showcase what I do, what I work on. So, all right, I'm going to start with older WIPs that that you've seen before if you've been, following my channel and my Instagram account. And then I'm going to go into my new starts, and it's about equal. The stacks are about equal. It's going to be a long video, so please make yourself comfortable and visit with me for a while. I'm going to jump in. Let's see. Okay. The first WIP that I'm going to show you is Adam's Menagerie. This is one of my oldest WIPs. This is by Tempting Tangles. And let me get the lighting right here. Okay. I'm actually filming with a new device, and I'm also still experimenting with the lighting situation, so I'm kind of a technology dummy, honestly. I really struggle with figuring these things out, but I'm trying to make it better. So this is Adam's Menagerie by Tempting Tangles. I am changing most of the colors, just adjusting them, a little bit, and I'm stitching this on 32 count J linen by Picture This Plus. So this is where I'm at. Since you saw this last, I think I started adding this little elephant here and the antlers, and I've been filling in this section up here, which I believe, to my eye, it seems like a mountain range or like maybe a jungle top or something, something like that, and then clouds above. So that's kind of what I'm imagining with this. But I love how this is turning out. I really love working with this fabric. Yeah. And that's one of my oldest WIPs, and I really wish that I had more time to devote to it, but yeah, I just don't, because it doesn't have a purpose other than I just really love it. So typically the pieces that have a purpose get more priority. The next piece, the next WIP that I'm going to show you is my Dragonfly Lace Mandala by Chatelaine. It's like good for a second and then stupid. Okay, there it is. And this is one of my favorite projects, but again, it's kind of work intensive, and it's my dishwasher is singing to me. Anyway, it's work intensive, and it's hard to follow the pattern, and I finally started highlighting. I don't know why I wasn't highlighting before this, but I just wasn't. I'm stitching this on 32 count Heather Lugana by Picture This Plus. And since you saw this last, I started filling in. I've just been trying to fill in this flower and just trying to create this flower. I think you've seen the leaf part, but I know I've added like a color or two. These chatelaines are very color intensive, aren't they? But it sparkles. Ah, I just love this. I love this design, and I love this fabric. This is dreamy fabric. The colors are dreamy. Okay, get some of this out of the way. All right, next up is my stocking. This is, well, one of my stockings. This is Snowman and Friends by Dimensions. And I've been really trying to focus really hard on this one. I really want to get this done by Christmas, so I have big plans for this over the summer. I just want to work on it as much as possible. I can't necessarily say I'm going to work on it every day, but because I get burnt out if I do a little bit every day, I lose interest. So I just have to say, okay, as much as I can. I have it I have it out on the scroll frame, like ready for me to stitch on, so it's kind of inviting. And let me tell you about this scroll cover. I reached out to my friend Christina, Quilting with Nico. She is amazing. She's awesome. She is so good at what she does, and she makes project bags. And I asked her to make me this scroll frame to be the size of, to match the size of my stocking, because I knew I was going to have it out. And so she just whipped one up for me, and within, I think, 24 hours of me putting this over my project and having it out, a whole glass of water was spilled all over it. And this cover saved my project from getting wet. It was not wet at all. What a relief. So if you also have projects out on scroll frames, and you just, they live on scroll frames, you might want to reach out to Christina and see if she will make you a scroll frame cover. I know that she started listing them in her Etsy shop, so I encourage you to go and get one. All right, now I'm not going to unroll this because I don't have time, but here's my progress. I think I've stitched on this a lot since you've seen it last. So I think, maybe I was about up to here, like I was down to here when you saw it last, because all of this is probably new, and I think I know for sure the lantern is new and all the animals and the apples down here, they're all new. So yeah, isn't this looking amazing? I'm so excited. And this is for my son. He is 5.5. He'll say, I'm 5.5. Oh, I love it. But these are work intensive. These dimensions kits are no joke. So it's taking me forever, but it's all worth it, and it's beautiful, and I really, really, really want it done by Christmas. Okay. So that is my top priority WIP. All right. Next, I'm going to show you Flora and Fauna by Willow Hill Samplings. This is the model. Oop, boop, boop, boop. Come on. Does this work? Sorry, this device. I don't know if this device is going to work out for me. Okay. Anyway, it's a really small cover photo, but you see this fox down here. Can you see anything? I don't even know. This is awful. Okay, there's a fox down here. You'll just have to take my word for it, or look it up. Okay. There's a fox down here, and my original plan, and still is my plan, I'm going to make it look more like our dog, Teddy. And I have really sad news, at least it was really sad for us, that he passed away in December. He was 12 years old, and it was just his time. He was a German Shepherd Sheltie mix, which was a really strange mix, but he was just the sweetest dog alive. And so I always knew that I wanted to, kind of commemorate him with this sampler, and because the motifs in this sampler also remind me of just our life here, where we live now, because we have a healthy population of bunnies in our backyard. Especially now that he's gone, especially now that Teddy's gone, the bunnies have kind of taken over our backyard. They are so confident and undisturbed back there that they will sleep in the middle of the lawn. But they're adorable, and we don't mind having them. I know they're kind of pests and whatever, but they're so cute. Anyway, so I'm gonna change some of the motifs and everything. I got this pattern as a gift. It was a pass the stash from my friend Deborah, and she's on Instagram. And oh my goodness, it's been ages actually since I've been on Instagram. Other than the past couple days, but I don't remember her Instagram handle. I'll put it down below. I'm sorry, Deborah. But she's got amazing pictures of this finish, so all right. And I have another scroll wrap, and this one will fit the same size scroll frame as the other one. But I'm using shorter stretcher bars here, so it wraps a little bit more around, but still, I just undo this here, and there's this long string that wraps around and it just opens up like that. Okay. All right, so I've been working on the vase, which is bigger than it looks. This is 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus, and instead of white lilies, I'm making tiger lilies, and I have to chart those, and that's part of what's been kind of the hang up. That's been the hang up. I just saw a bright yellow bird outside, and I've only ever seen a yellow bird once once ever before, so that was interesting. Sorry, I was distracted. Okay, so I am just trying to finish up this vase because then I can jump down here. I think on this side is where I can make my little teddy bear. And I am just starting the bird. I've got the belly done on the bird up here. Sorry, you can't see. I'm not gonna unscroll it today. But I think all the roses are done. Just need to put in, I need to chart the tiger lilies, and yeah, that's it. So I would, I would like to work on this one more, but I don't know how much time I'll have to devote to it. With a lot of these projects that I just haven't been able to get to a lot, part of the hang up is having to think about color changes and like design changes. It takes a lot of brain power, and through this last academic year, it's just been like I just have limited energy because I'm using so much of it at school, like taking classes and teaching. The teaching part also takes a ton of energy. Okay. Here's another older one. Another Tempting Tangles. This is Jumpin' Jack Frost. I am stitching this on 28 count. 28 count time. This is Jumpin, I think. Yeah, Jumpin. I've actually worked on this a lot since I've seen you last. Here's my progress. This pumpkin is huge, and I filled it all in. I filled that whole pumpkin in. I'm using most of the called for oranges, but I think I've changed a lot of flosses, but I can't be sure off the top of my head without looking at it right now. But anyway, I know I was working on these top vines and the bottom vine, and mostly that pumpkin just took ages. I think I gave Jack Frost some hair. Yeah. This fabric is so soft and luscious, and it's a gorgeous color. Okay. All right, this is Apple Blossom Sampler by the Drawn Thread. Okay, I'm sorry, Crinkles. This is the model. Oh dear. It's so washed out. Okay, that's the model. And I'm stitching this on 40 count. 40 count vintage cedar plank, which is amazing. Amazing fabric. It's Lakeside Linens. I think this is the first Lakeside Linens I've ever stitched on, and oh my goodness, I'm gonna be a repeat customer with this one. This is amazing. I love the colors. It's like a, it's actually, the fabric is kind of a mottled purpley, it's a purpley gray with some antique greens. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you can see. Anyway, this is my progress, and I'm stitching with a mix of silks and cottons, overdyeds. I just love the delicate colors in here. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do the specialty stitches on 40 count, but I'm doing them, and I think they're looking fine. These rice stitches, it's hard to tell that they're rice stitches, to be honest, on 40 count, but they're really pretty. And these bees are all over one. These tiny bees, can you see? Over one. Anyway, This is actually higher on my priority list because I want this finished. And I think I'm a little bit over halfway done. I don't know why I put it in the middle of this piece of fabric. Like, what was I thinking? What in the world was I thinking? Look at all of this extra fabric on either side. If I could have just moved it over, then I could have like this much fabric to work with. But instead, I just have like these tiny strips. Like, oh, come on, Leah. Anyway. Okay. All right, this is Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. This is the model. And I asked Christina to make me this amazing women, votes for women bag. I sent her the fabric and she did her magic. Okay. So this is kind of like one of my only patriotic pieces that I have going right now, and so I kind of I work on it. Here we go. I work on it. I don't know, like it came out for the election, for this anniversary. I don't know. Maybe one or two other things it came out for, but it's these letters are so huge and they take so much longer than I anticipated. So, yeah, I feel like I am not seeing very much progress on this every time I stitch on it, but that's okay. For me, it's about the process, and I don't really have another patriotic piece that I have like waiting to do after this one, so it's okay if this one takes longer, because then I have something to stitch on like patriotic days. Okay, let's see, here is Autumn Knotting by Tempting Tangles. Yes, I do love Tempting Tangles designs. This is the model. Oh my goodness, come on. The words say Autumn Knotting, or the Yellow Plain, which is a poem by somebody, Thompson, I don't know. I am stitching this with Christina, my friend, Quilting with Nico, who makes these amazing bags. I'm basically obsessed, so it's okay. All right. We started this, a couple years ago, I think. All right, here's my progress, and so washed out. Is this better? Not much. Okay. There. So since you saw this, I have just been like adding on to the branch, and I added a few letters, and I've been working on the sky here, and I decided that I was just gonna do, I'm actually just gonna do 1/2, yeah, 1/2 in the sky instead of 2/2 for the rest. I'm doing 2/2 everywhere else, but I'm just gonna do 1/2 in the sky because I want it to be lighter, and the sky is the place that is the only place with a blended thread. So Christina, she's using an overdyed floss for that blended thread, so I'm gonna get whatever that color is that she's using, and I'm just gonna kind of copy her. The other thing I wanted to point out is I did this basting stitch around this area because I had an oopsie. I made a mistake, counting error, And I just basted, I got some embroidery, not embroidery, machine embroidery floss, 40 weight, in this super bright color. I'm trying to see what color it is, but it's like, I mean, it's like a neon color. And I use this to baste around the counting error so that I know not to count from those stitches. And, ooh, almost dropped that. And it has really come in handy because if you have a project that you don't work on every day, you know, the biggest lie you can tell yourself is that you're going to remember where that counting error is. You will not remember if you put this away for a couple months and then take it out again. So that basting stitch has really come in handy. Okay. Next up is the Modestly Sized Red Ship of Life by Ink Circles. This is the design. Oh. Okay, this is the design, and I'm not stitching these colors. I want these colors to look like colors of the Earth, like the planet Earth from space. So I'm stitching this on 25 count moss green Lugana 1/1 in Gloriana Silks, and I just selected some blues and greens, so and white, and then there's one that's like blue and brown, so I'm just kind of gonna change the colors up as I go. The man-made stuff is going to be this floss, so this is like the start of one of the ships. These are some awesome sea creatures, and then just border stitching, which, oh my gosh, border stitching. I do not enjoy border stitching, but it's okay. It's good for, like, if you're just like talking to someone or something, and you can't really pay a whole lot of attention to what you're doing. It's kind of good for that because it's methodical, but okay, it barely fits in this bag here. You know, but if you get distracted and you miscount, like, that can be really annoying too, so. All right. This is Seashells by Dimensions. This should be a priority stitch for me, but it's just not because I don't love stitching on it, but it is a gift for my mother-in-law because she's totally into seashells. And these are kind of, you know, her colors and everything. I don't know what I don't love about stitching this. It's gorgeous, and it's you know, it's going really well, but okay, it's not ironed or anything, but here's where I am. I think I've actually stitched on this quite a lot since you've seen it last. It still needs a lot of work though. It'll get there. That stocking needs to come first and foremost. And my mother-in-law doesn't know that I'm stitching it for her, so, you know, that kind of takes the pressure off too. Okay. All right, this project actually is in this awesome, gorgeous bag that I got from my friend Daleen. So grateful. I love her channel. If you haven't watched her before, I highly encourage it. She seems to just say things that stick with me. Like every single update she puts out there. Something just kind of sticks with me. So I'm having a hard time getting this out of the bag, sorry. My little, yes, I have it in a bag, but that's okay. Okay. This is Polar Bears, a Polar Bear kit by Mill Hill, and I've just been I've been color completing. Oh, isn't it lovely? It's all, can't see any of it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so, come on. Oh, okay. Okay, deep breath. I've been trying to fill in the, okay, can you see it better back here? I've been trying to fill in the light gray now. So I've color completed all of the white. So all of the white, all of the cream, that's all done. So now I'm going in with the light gray. And I'm just kind of color completing on this one. And I'm just doing it for fun because these polar bears remind me of my son's little toys that he had when he was little. And we still have them, but he doesn't play with them anymore. But that just is an easy thing to take, like when I travel places. All right, I think we're getting to the last ones here that you've seen before. All right. This is Words to Live By. Words to Live By, Justice, by Heartstring Samplery, and it's just words. It's a Bible verse, and I am stitching this on 40 count Tyco by Pictureless Plus with one color floss. It's a Karen Waterlilies floss, but I don't know off the top of my head what it's called, but I'm almost done with this one, and I really love stitching on it. It's a really nice meditative stitch, and I've just been kind of stitching on this one when I feel just tired, like too tired to really think about things, but I still want to stitch, and I still want to like make progress on something that I really care about. And this, I think I have 4 lines left, and I'm just waiting I'm waiting for this one to be done so I can put it with some of my other artwork. Anyway, I love it. And this design, when you buy this design from Heartstring Samplery, from her Etsy page, she donates money to a charity that fights human trafficking. Okay, and I think, let me look, I think that's it for the WIPs that you have seen before, okay? Oh, all right, now, let's see, how long have we been this new thing? Okay, 30 minutes. All right, so, Christina also makes mug rugs, and I got this one. I actually fell in love with this one the moment I saw it on her Etsy page, and I thought, well, I'll just give some other people a chance to buy her things. And, I mean, I waited a long time to buy this, and nobody did, and I was like, well, everybody else is lost, it's mine now. I mean, she has amazing skill. There are equal amounts of stitches, machine stitches, on either side of these squares. Like, how does she do it? Anyway, I love it. And it's amazing for my huge, mug of water. So I have that next to my workstation. Okay. New starts. Okay. First up. This has been in my stash for ages. Like, we're talking years. And I finally was like, Leah, just get that out, kit it up, and start it. And I did. So this is White Cat by La Dida. And it is so funny. Look at those legs. But I want to make it look like my cat. My cat's a Burman. Burmans have like these white, pure white mittens. So I had to change the colors around a bit. And I put this on 28 count Cornflower Blue Jobelin by Witch Out. Oh, look at that. And so I changed all the colors. I didn't want it to look antique, looking, because I don't really do antique looks, So I got some colors that look a little bit like the seal point, because my Dudley is a seal point Burman. I got a whiter white for the mittens and a creamier white for the body, and I had to figure out the shading, and which is, it was a little bit strange because these legs are so long, so it was kind of tricky to come up with the right words are failing me. After this academic year, my words have not been coming. Like, I have not been able to retrieve words. Okay, anyways, proportions. The proportions were difficult to figure out because the legs are so long. And I am using entirely Color and Cotton floss for this one. This is my first and only project that is 100% using Color and Cotton floss. I don't know, I just wanted to do that because I'm in the Color and Cotton Thread Club, and so I have a healthy stash now of Color and Cotton. This brown is actually more of a purple, but you can't really, from a distance, it looks more brown. And the other thing about this is my counting got off, and I don't know what happened, but this part is, not charted. It's just not as charted, the shape. And somewhere in here, there's a row of white stitches in there where I accidentally stitched over one. It's like wonky. It's like there's two threads going this way, but then one thread going this way, and I stitched the entire row, and I didn't notice until things weren't lining up right, and I was like, you know what, just whatever. I'm keeping it. Just stitch on. Anyway, I like how it's turning out, and I just have to fill all of this in, which is my least favorite. That's my least favorite kind of stitching, so this is kind of not, it hasn't been worked on in a while because it's just so much fill in. Okay. Next up, for whatever reason, this year, I really don't know what inspired this one, but I was almost impulsive to start. I purchased this impulsively and started it impulsively, but I have stitched a lot on it, and it's just kind of soothing. This is Feliz Navidad by Blackbird Designs. It's Christmas, but I mean, whatever. It's calling to me a lot, so what I wanted to point out on here is that the border to me, looks like tinsel, like gold tinsel with red bulbs. And that's what I thought it was when I originally purchased this pattern and bought it and got all the flosses and everything, called for flosses. I thought, you know, that is so whimsical and cute to have a, I just used the word and I can't remember it right now. But anyways, when I started stitching it, you can see there's actually flowers. Like those red things are flowers, and there's little leaves in there. And I didn't really catch on to that until I was pretty far into the stitching, and I was like, you know, I'm not going to change the colors because this is why I'm going into this, because I extremely dislike yellowish, like yellow brownish greens. I just want it to be green. Like, I really like greens. So I'm thinking about this as garland. Okay. It's really, I mean, it's not that important. I don't know why I just went into that whole thing about it, but I just okay, this is on 32 count Picture This Plus Heartland. And I think it's looking really good on this fabric. It's not what's called for. The design calls for 36 count and using only one strand of floss. So, you know, obviously this is 32 count, so it's bigger, and I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2 because that's what I just prefer to stitch. And also, I start on the bottom and I work my way up because of the way my X's go. That just seems to be the easiest. And so I started with the border, and it wasn't until I got to the sides here that I realized, oh, there's only 2 of these balls that are like circular. The rest are actually supposed to be more, they're supposed to be flatter. You see? They're like a flat bulb. And also these two down here are supposed to be Smyrna crosses. And when I did that, there just wasn't enough coverage. So I just sort of did my own thing to make the coverage better. Instead of doing just an X and then a cross over the top, I did like I started with one leg of the X and I just went like across all the way. I don't know if you can kind of visualize that. But I think it worked out a little bit better than a regular Smyrna would do. And I just decided to keep my bulbs circular on the bottom because it's not going to hurt anything, but I'm going to do what it's, you know, the shape that's charted all the way up. So this is getting really washed out. And yeah, so my lighting is just not right. The other thing is I am using most of the called for flosses, which, shocker, that's crazy for me. But I think they all work really well. And I mean, part of the surprise on this one is just that these are not my typical colors. This is not like a regular color palette for me. I don't go for those warm, you know, those warm tones, but something about this pattern it's just really, I don't know, it calls to me. So, I'm using Parchment by WIP Parade floss instead of, no, it calls for Parchment. I'm using light khaki instead of Parchment because light khaki is just slightly darker than this Parchment, and it's like a strange pearly color. I think it works in different lighting, but then like from a distance you can't even see. It's like tone on tone. So I'm not super in love with that aspect. I was really tempted to pick a DMC, like a whiter DMC, maybe an ecru or one of the, maybe Blanc or something, but I really wanted an overdyed, so I just didn't do that. I'm just gonna go with it because in certain light you can actually see it really well on this fabric, but it's like a visual trick. All right, over here. Let's see how we're doing. This one is a new start. Well, obviously we're into new start territory. This one hasn't received nearly as many days as I wanted to put into it, or as it deserves, or that I thought I could put into it. So it's kind of embarrassing. I almost didn't show this start because, I mean, it's just crazy, but I love this pattern. It's so whimsical. It's not a traditional sampler, but it's like sampler-esque, and it's got that schoolhouse building in the middle and a big tree and these like wonky words. Okay. It's called Grace Manor by Praiseworthy Stitches. And there's a verse in here that's just like kind of strewn about in it, and it says, as beauty adorns the countenance, may peace adorn our hearts. And, you know, I like that, and I just really love this pattern. I ordered jade. This is 36 count, 36 count jade linen by Picture This Plus, and I ordered it last year, 2020, when Picture This Plus had their Christmas and July sale, and those of you who also ordered from that sale know that it took quite a long time to get that fabric. I didn't get this fabric until February this year, which is totally fine. You know, I'm really understanding about that kind of thing. Anyway, February was a bonkers month for me, which is why this didn't really come out very much. But I have it on a scroll frame, just like all ready to go, because I thought, well, if it's on a scroll frame, I'll just stitch it like every day. That didn't happen. I did not stitch this every day. Stitch it like one day. I got like 3 strands in. Okay, so this is jade, 36 count jade by Picture This Plus. Online, the color looks a lot more like this light, this light color. And so that's kind of what I was expecting. And there are very, very dark spots. And this is the back side of the fabric. So like you'll see here is I think that's right. The front side is darker than the back side. Anyways, so I'm using the back side of the fabric so that the dark spots are not quite as dark. And when I first got it, I thought, okay, this is going to be too dark for this pattern. I'm not going to be able to use it. But then I thought, I'm just going to go for it. I'm only using 1 strand of floss. So that's kind of what I was hesitant about, but I'm just going to try it out. And I started with the tree. I started in the middle. So I started with the tree. I think I have like, I don't know, 3 or 4 strands of floss in here already. And probably more like 3. Not even 3. This is the 3rd. So it's embarrassing. This is like you won't even, like, you're not even going to see this for a while because I just have other things I need to stitch. But I was so excited to start it. I couldn't not start it. All right. Here's one. Owl Forest Embroidery. I ordered some kits from Owl Forest Embroidery. They arrived the Monday of spring break, and the Tuesday of spring break, and I think Wednesday was St. Patrick's Day. So I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do for my St. Patrick's Day start. And this is it. I call this a Clover Sampler. I think that it's actually Shamrock something or other, the English translation, but it comes as a kit, as I said, it comes with a kit with overdyed floss that it's like Alforce Embroidery floss, like they do their own flosses. One of the colors needed to be substituted though for me. Let me show you. So this is my progress. Yeah, I went ham on this one over spring break. I love clovers. Clovers remind me of like where I grew up. So, because we always had a lot of clovers, 4-leaf clovers in the lawn. I found those all the time, and we also grew alfalfa, and like these flowers remind me of alfalfa. Anyways, I had to substitute this color, and I happen to have it in my stash. It's Classic Colorworks Dublin Bay. It's like a I mean, really it's blue. It's a blue. But it's like a shamrock blue, you know? The one that came in the kit, this is more true to the model, the picture of the model. And the floss that came with the kit, I think it was just a dye lot issue, it was actually more white. It was very white with just pale blue streaks, and I just didn't think that was going to work for me. So yeah, I was really happy to find this substitute. Yeah, I love this one. Love it, love it, love it. Otherwise, I'm just using the kit fabric, which is 32 count, some kind of linen, maybe beige linen. It comes with a needle minder and all the floss, and it's beautiful. Okay. Here is Jane Marshall. Actually, I mean, you might have seen this before. I don't know if I've started this, because I posted it to Instagram, but in my planner that I keep track of, you know, all of my WIPs, I had started this after my Flosstube was posted. So anyway, most of you have seen this. This is Jane Marshall. I don't think it's Jane Marshall by Hands Across the Sea. This was a fundraiser for fires in Australia, and I had I just am using threads from my stash, silks, mostly silks. I think actually, no, they're all silks. They're different brands of silks. Most of them are Karen Water Lily silks. But a couple of these I actually got from my friend Anne. Fibers, Floss, and Fiction. And here's my progress. I think it's looking awesome. It's a little washed out right now. Go figure. Okay. I don't know if I can get a good color representation. This is on 28 count linen, and it's a witch out linen, so it's like super thin and, you know, pretty see-through. But I'm stitching this in hand, and here, let's see if I can that's better, I think. I can kind of see where I am. I'm trying to color complete down here, so there's like three shades of pink, maybe 3 or 4, I think 3 shades of pink down here, and a dark brown and a dark green, and I'm using a dark blue for the outside. And anyway, I just really think this is very pretty, very delicate. And I put Jane's name in there, Jane Marshall. I don't know where I'm going to add my own initials. We'll have to see. Anyway, I'm stitching it in hand, and on 28 count, it's like a light yellow, It's kind of looking beige in the video, but it's yellow in person. It's yellow. I can't get the color right today. It's an easy one to just like sit and watch. Like if we had a writers conference this spring, and everything was online, so I didn't have to have my video on. So I just kind of sat back and stitched on Jane Marshall and watched the writers conference. It was great. All right. Here's one that I had been meaning to start this. I had it kitted up for over a year now, which is ridiculous. 2 years. I think I've had this kitted up for 2 years, which is why I was like, you know what, Leah, just start it. Everything's there, just start it. You don't have to think. So this is hands to work. No, that's not what it's called. That's what I've been calling it. It's called Heart and Hand Sampler, and it's by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. So, I have loved this sampler ever since I laid my eyes on it, and I kitted it up right away, and I just sat there, ready for me to work on it. I'm using 32 count Nessie by Picture This Plus, which is a beautiful teal, but it's like a bluer teal. And I am using all of my own, I just pulled flosses that I wanted to work with, because alright, let's try this. Full screen. Alright, it's not too bad. I wish I could get the lighting right. That's a little better, I think. No, that's not actually. Oh well. Blue is notoriously difficult to get on camera, to get correct on camera. Anyway, I just started in the middle. Started on the vines. I'm using just all of my own floss conversion. It's all cottons, over-dyed cottons like Weeks Dye Works and Class Color Works. I'm using my favorite green for this one, which is Grasshopper. Classic Colorworks Grasshopper. This is my favorite green. Favorite over-dyed green. I love this green. Classic Colorworks Grasshopper. It's rich and vibrant. Oh, I love it. So I'm using that for the dark green, and I picked a yellower green for the lighter green. I just really love vibrant colors, and this sampler reminds me of, it actually reminds me of my parents. So I might try to like make some kind of commemorative thing. I might try to work in their initials or something. Anyway, that's just like easy to pick up because I have all of the colors picked out and I don't really have to think about it anymore, so I just do that. Okay. I'm gonna bring these all up to the table. All right. I wish I could say we were almost done. We're not almost done. I still have, I don't know, 10 or more. I'm getting sleepy. Okay. So, here is a here's a WIP that I started with Amy, my friend Amy. Amy loves toads. Gosh, awful. This is a, there we go. That's a little better. It's still washed out, but this is called Arc of White by Tempting Tangles, and it's stunning. I love it. And Amy's starting at the top here, and I'm starting at the bottom here and going this way. So you should check out her latest update has this on it, and it's looking really good. Really good. Mine, I went with a blue and green fabric called Flotsam and Jetsam 32 count linen by Chromatic Alchemy. I bought this fabric a long time ago thinking that I would use it for something because I love it, and I do. So this is my start, just in the corner. So this is the bottom right corner, so maybe I should unfold it, huh? This fabric is just gorgeous. Is that right? No, it's the left. That's the left side. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here it is. It's a very small start, but I changed the colors of the leaves. But I'm keeping the white silk for the web. And Amy made me a project bag to go in it, for it to go in. Gosh, with spider webs and bats, because she knows I love bats. They're one of my favorite animals. And lace. This is so me. Thank you, Amy. All right, what else do I have in here? I have one more start in here, and let's see. This is from an old magazine called Just Cross Stitch. This is the January-February 1995 edition. And it is this little turtle here. I love turtles. That's another one of my favorite animals, turtle. And this is a painted turtle, which also reminds me of where I grew up. Around our old farmhouse, we had these like swamps, and these turtles were just all over the place in those swamps. And I'm using a frog needle minder because I used to keep my window open at night so I could hear all the frogs in the swamp. There it is. So, very small start. Man, this fabric is just not showing. It's not showing very well. It's green. It's a green and yellow. This is a, it's called Heartland. No, it's not Heartland. What's it called? It's called, oh no, I don't remember what it's called. It's called, is this it? Highland. So Highland is it's a light green fabric with yellow splotches. So it's green and yellow, which, you know, obviously you're not seeing that at all today on the video. But you can kind of see it looks kind of dappled, and so he'll be sitting on this log here, and anyway. It's a very small start, but Amy's actually she has started a very similar design. It's not the exact same, but it is so similar, which is so us. We tend to stitch a lot of the same things, a lot of the same, well, if not the same designs, like similar, very similar things. Okay. Okay. All right, here is an anniversary piece that I'm stitching for my husband and I. I'm trying to get a head start on this. This is the Marriage of Minds sampler. It has this Shakespeare sonnet on it. It has a sonnet on it. You know, it's the one, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. It is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. And then at the bottom here, it has the two names and the original wedding date and the anniversary date and 20 tempestuous years. And so I thought, you know, I think I'm gonna modify this just a tiny little bit down here, but I'm starting at the bottom and I'm working my way up. And let me tell you something, this is huge. This is so big. So big. And I'm not using the called for flosses or the called for fabric. I have this insane piece of aerial linen. Okay, so this is as far as I got. Not very far. So this is just the bottom band. And so there'll be a flower band here and then another thick band. I'm gonna have to stitch this band like something like a dozen times, which is a little daunting to think about, but you know, it'll be interesting. Anyways, I am in love with this color, and this sampler is really tall. So I had to get, I knew I had to get like, well, I knew I needed a big piece if it was a quarter, like a full quarter or whatever, but I just went ahead and got, no, I think I needed a half. I got a whole yard of this because I know I'm just gonna like use this and use it and use it. But I haven't cut it because I'm afraid of cutting fabric. I know that's a thing, you know, I'm afraid of cutting fabric, so I just have been like wadding this up. Not wadding, it's folded, but it still feels like this huge wad of fabric. It's not very easy to take out and just stitch on, so I'm just gonna have to figure that out. But I've got some time. I've got 4 years to finish this by my 20th anniversary. And you know what? If I don't make it, I'll just make this a 25-year anniversary commemorative piece because who cares, right? Okay. I think I'm losing steam hardcore here. So let's get through this. Okay, here is Bienvenue. Let's see, what is this called? Bienvenue on Normandy. This is by Madame Lafitte, and I love this gigantic Holstein right there. This reminds me of my hometown again. You know, this is kind of a theme of the things that I've really been like reaching for this year, is things that remind me like positive memories of my childhood, you know? So, Holstein. And I'm gonna change this to my hometown name. But otherwise, you know, it's mostly gonna be the same. Whatever, I mean, it's mostly gonna be what's charted. have a small start on this, but there's more stitching in here than you might think. That cow is really thick. Here's my start. I started with the cow, and yes, I thought that this tuxedo kitty cat would be a hilarious companion to my Holstein. But I just started with the white, obviously, and now I'm starting with now I'm adding in the gray. It's like a silver, and then after that I'll add the black. But there's just 3 colors in the cow, and it's a really great Holstein. Yeah, so I was pretty delighted when I saw that there were so many cow designs at market this year, because there just isn't enough cows in cross stitch. Specifically Holsteins. I mean, I have a soft spot for Holsteins because that's what my brother farms. Okay. Here is a new start. You also didn't know I had this, but this is the Spring Cat Sampler, and oh, come on. The lighting is just bothering me today. Alright. Spring Cat Sampler by Cooler Designs. I bought all 4 of these cat samplers, and I also have fabric for all 4 of them. This is on Ariel, I think that's Ariel Ada, and I got a decent start on this actually. Which way does it go? This way, I think. I think it goes this way. Anyway, you get the picture. There. So, this was my favorite of the 4, which is why I started with this one. I think I started it in December when I was just like so sick of the winter. We actually did not have a very harsh winter this year, which was nice. Okay, this one is called Virgil L. Pierce, and it is it's a sampler reproduction. It's a reproduction sampler, and by Needlework Press, and I want to do this for my son because not for my son, but for my son, because he's starting kindergarten in August. I can't even. So my idea for this one, what is going on here? Sorry. My idea for this one is that I can turn it into a photo album cover, and put pictures from his kindergarten year in the photo album. But if this is on 28 count time linen by Witchelt, so it's pretty see-through, and it's not nearly as luscious as the time Jobelin that I'm using for Jumpin' Jack Frost. But you know, I'm not really a brown beige person, so I didn't want to do exactly, you know, what was called for. But I am using all of the called for flosses, which are just green. It's a green, red, and cream. And I've seen this on clearance at multiple stores, and I think it's because there is a charting error. So like I said, there's only 3 colors, and the symbols are switched. So it says that the dark green should be the X, but that's actually the white, and then the check should be the off-white, but that's actually the green. So they're just switched. But honestly, it's pretty easy to correct. But anyway, I think I got this on clearance from Kitten Stitcher. I don't know if she has any more. I think she does. But it's super cute. Okay. We're almost done. Yes. All right, I have 2 more. 2 more to show you. All right. This one I've been really excited about, and you'll see. I actually just started this. Well, okay, so tomorrow is Saturday. I started this 2 Saturdays ago, and I stitched on it for, I don't know, maybe 5 days or something, but they were like 5 glorious days where I just had as much stitching time as I could handle, and I just stitched this thing like crazy. This is Woodland Cottage by Elizabeth's Designs. I started this with my friend Christina. When the semester was over, we started this as like a reward. Like, well, it was my reward to myself to start something new again. Anyway, we had a little video call and we started this together, and I'm making some changes because the design reminds me of where we lived in California, and so I just wanted to make a few, just a few little changes to make it feel more like that specific place. Christina found this amazing fabric called Vintage Purled Barley by Lakeside Linens, and she sent me a picture of it, and I liked it so much I was like, can I copy you? So I called her LNS, and I bought some Vintage Purled Barley so that I could stitch this on the same fabric. Look at this. It's almost done. All that's left for me is to finish this top vine and this bottom border, and then just a couple things down here, just a very small like border line, but otherwise it's almost finished. Oh, and beads. There's some beads. There's beads in the sky. There's a little silver moon thing here in the sky. There's beads down here for flowers, and then we'll be done. But it's full of specialty stitches. It's so much fun. Some of the changes that I made. The design has these bushes as rose bushes, and I wanted them to look more like sage bushes, so I used the lighter green that's called for as as the French knots there to make it more like sage bushes. And then I selected a variegated floss to use for the lines here in the hills. Just something that was a little bit browner. It was like a browner green to make it just, to add a little bit more depth. I changed the color of the fence. I changed the acorns. In the pattern, the acorns have a white top and a dark brown I don't know, body. But I just changed it to look more natural. I changed these flowers to be purple because the grapes are purple. This is going to be like a medium purple, and then the flowers down here, it's called for a like midnight blue bead for the flowers, but I am going to use a pink, no, purple, they're purple beads, actually that I got from my friend Anne, Fibrous Floss and Fiction. She sent me some, I think she sent me some beads for my birthday one year, and they're the perfect color for this because they remind me of ice plant. If you've, blooming ice plant, so if you've ever been in California, like on the coast, you might know what I'm talking about, those, the blooming ice plant. So that's what'll be down here, and it kind of matches the same purple here. Here is supposed to be some pumpkins, and I'm thinking about changing those to watermelons, but I have to think about that, see if I can swing it. Anyways, I am so much in love with this pattern. I'm so much in love with this WIP. It's just flying together, and it's smaller than you would think. This makes it look huge, and it's not huge. It's only what is it, 85? It's 90 by 88, so it's actually kind of a small border. It's bordering on medium. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I love it. So there's that. And then my last WIP. This is a new start. Okay, this requires a little bit of a story as well. I told you all that I was going to do this, that I was going to kind of do a color conversion for this. I'll get it out here. This is called Faith, Hope, Peace, Love Sampler by Teresa Kogut. And this was my favorite design from Nashville Market last year, from 2020. And the moment I saw it, I just loved it so much. But I knew I wasn't going to stitch these colors because these are just not my colors. I also knew that I wanted it to be on Aida because I wanted this to be something that I can stitch like a travel piece kind of. I just felt like, you know, I could do it on Aida. Without going into all of the details, because I could draw this out for another hour talking about my process on this one. This was crazy. Ultimately, I decided to go back to one of my most favorite finishes, which is actually Be My Love. So this is the original Carriage House Samplings, Be My Love. And here's my finish. I wanted the Faith, Hope, Peace, Love sampler to be kind of a companion piece to this one, because this is maybe my favorite finish so far, just because it's so, these are just so my colors. This is just so, I just love it. I changed everything. I used Whisper Floss for these little sheep. I love how the pinks and the greens and the tealy blues work together. And then there's these warm, it's a warm brown. It's like a warm red brown. And I loved the fabric. I loved everything about this. So I thought, okay, this can be my inspiration for my color conversion on Faith, Hope, Peace, Love. So I special ordered icon, 16 count icon Aida from Picture This Plus, because that's what this was stitched on. And I pulled many of the same colors, and but no, not the same. I pulled the same pink in the dress for this for the dress in this sampler. But I picked I picked over-dyed cottons that matched the DMCs that I had used. And here's where I am now. Okay, so, oh gosh, it's so washed out. Anyway, the dark pink from the other one is in here. You just can't see it very well right in here. Yeah, you can see a little better. Up here in the flower, this dark pink is the same pink as the dress in Be My Love. And I selected some Color and Cotton flosses to help me with this color conversion. I think most of these are Color and Cotton. But this is on 16 count Icon Ada. I'm just sort of color converting as I go. The greens, so in the pattern, the green calls for it's just one color green the whole way through. And I thought, for me, I need more shades of green because I love green and blue. And I love green and blue and pink. Like, I don't know, I just really love, and purple. Green, blue, purple, and pink. Those are like, it's a winning combo for me. So, the house at the bottom. So this house is going to be the same colors as this flower here. So this lighter blue. And the reason why I chose blue for this is because in this pattern, you'll see that these big flowers actually blend in a little bit with the fabric. It's just like one shade lighter than the fabric. So I thought, okay, I can do that. You know, I can find something that works. So that's why I went with that light blue there. I don't know. I could talk, like I said, I could talk for hours about the color decisions that I've made with this one, and just everything that sort of led me to where I am now on it. But I think of this as a companion piece to Be My Love. So there they are, side by side. Yay! Yeah, I like it. So this is my travel piece right now, and it's easy. Like I said, with the Ada, it's easy. If you're an Ada stitcher, something to be aware of that I was not aware of is that the people have half stitches in them. I was able to kind of get around it a little bit, but you can kind of see. I did a straight stitch for the noses instead of doing half stitches. And then down here in the skirt, there's a whole bunch of half stitches. And I was just looking at this pattern last night pretty closely, and I think they should actually be, okay, I've been saying half stitches, I meant quarter stitches. There are fractional stitches in this design, and that's where, so far, those are the two places that I've seen it, and I don't think I've seen it anywhere else, but it's fine. I just kind of, I put my thimble on, and I just kind of poked through the fabric and it was fine. But anyways, I was looking at the fabric last night and I thought, okay, these are actually not quarter stitches. I think they're 3/4 stitches. So I should go back and do back stitching around them, but we'll see. I like how it's turning out though. This is just such a soothing piece to take out and work on. We're done. This is it. That was the last one. Thanks so much for sticking around for the whole video. Okay, so I'm going to StitchCon next week. I will be there. I'll be there, I think, a day early, and I'll stay a couple days late, just because I wanted a full vacation, and my husband was like, go, you know, you deserve it. This last semester was just really draining. It was really draining. It was really hard on me, just physically, mentally. It was a great experience, but it was hard work. And anyway, I'm going to StitchCon next week, so I will not have a chance to make a video next week. And I don't know how often I will be making these update videos, but I hope to get into it a little bit more regularly, as long as my schedule works. You know, I think I can make that work. I just can't commit to anything because, you know, I can't follow my own rules. That's really the gist of it. So I hope you enjoyed this WIP update. If you enjoyed the things that I showed you and you have not already subscribed, please do so, and you will see some of these, you know, more regularly. And I will be posting some updates of, you know, everything that you saw in this video. Gradually, I will post some of those updates on Instagram, so you can find me there as well. That's it for today. And I'll see you soon. If you're going to be at StitchCon first weekend, let me know. I would be happy to meet, you know, whoever is there. I'm so excited about it. I'm not sure what I'm taking. If you really want to see something, I actually think I'm gonna bring this for the brag table. But I think that's everything that I'm gonna bring for the just for the display table. I don't know what I'm gonna bring to work on. I don't know. I have so much thinking to do. It's okay. It's good. It's all good. I have to pack. I hope everyone's doing really well. And this is the hardest part of any video, so I'm just gonna say thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon, and take care.